Hello everyone, today we have BHUMI Surana with us. She got into GNLU in this CLAT 2024. So let us hear from her that how was her journey. So first we start with BHUMI to tell about her background. BHUMI, please tell us about your background.
Hi, I'm in the 12th standard right now. I study in DPS. I took up commerce with maths in 11th standard. I start CLAT preparation from 11th mid around July. So I had approximately 1.5 years of preparation.
So what was your 10th percentage, BHUMI?
I got around 90% in 10th.
90% in 10th. Okay. So how did you take up a decision of getting into law as a career? Wasn't it very problematic for you?
Anyone in my family who has taken up law before. So it was very new for me. I just heard, I got interested while looking at, reading some articles or something. So I thought I wanted to pursue law as a career. So I just took it up. I had no clue what I had to do at that point of time, but I just started with it.
Okay. Did you take up some career counseling kind of activity before taking up this law as a career?
I did. I took career counseling before, but I got engineering as an option at that time.
Okay.
But I did not want to do science at all. So
Okay.
I did not pay any attention to that career counseling. I decided on my own that I wanted to go with law.
Okay. So when you started for your CLAT 2024 preparation, and what was there in mind? Because everyone has those romantic notions कि ये कर लेंगे, वो कर लेंगे, फलाना कर लेंगे. So what was there in your mind? What was challenging? What was easy for you in your mind at that point in time?
When I started in the beginning, I could not understand a single thing. To be honest, I did not understand anything at all. So like a few sessions went by, I took trial classes. After a few sessions went by, I started to get interested in the subject by itself. Then slowly I began putting in efforts to actually study and go through the material that was given to me. So my interest built up, and that made me wanting to continue this.
Okay, so initially you were just, you can say, little novice, just trying to absorb everything.
What was going on.
Great. So according to you, which section at the start? My question is coming from that thought process that there are so many viewers who may be starting their preparation for CLAT 2025, okay, and they might have thought about that certain areas are very crucial for them, they are very significant for them, but then later on, you can say some of the students realize, oh, this is not very significant, something else is very significant. So something happened similar to you, that you started to focus a lot on certain area, later on you realize, no, this is not a main issue, the other things are main issues.
So there are 5 sections. So maths was my strongest section, but when I realized it had only, like, before we had 150 questions, but then reduced to 120, it had only 12 questions. So I realized it was not as significant as other sections. So I started focusing more on legal. In starting, my legal was not very strong, but as I started to focus, as I realized it was more important than maths, I started to do better in legal. Legal and logic were 2 sections I was not doing well at all in which. So after it made me realize that these sections carry more weightage and more marks. So it is more important for me to do those sections first.
Okay. How did you start working on your legal? So what were there in your mind while working on legal concepts?
Like, it was very new for me. I had never studied these kind of materials. So the book that was given to us from Pro Talent, I studied that completely to begin with, and then the classes that were taken by ma'am in class. Focusing on those lectures, I was able to understand material that was given.
Okay. That's the major part?
That's the major part about legal.
Okay. And what about logic?
Logic, the books that were given, the handbooks which had assignments and tests, I started doing that, and the classes you took that made me understand the topic as a whole. So after learning that topic, I used to give tests that used to make me practice more about the topic. Okay.
Great. So let's come to one big, you can say, preparation time for any CLAT aspirant is that mock test. So there are a lot of mock tests were conducted here. Possibly 60 plus?
60, more than 60.
More than 60, yes. Okay. So more than 60 mocks were there. So what was there in your mind while you were appearing for the mocks, in the initial stage, in the middle of it, in the last of it? What was there in your mind?
The initial stage was not very nice. I barely scored like very less marks in the starting mocks. So I was like, why is this happening? I did not know where to start, what to do after I got the result of those initial mocks. slowly after taking counseling and everything, I realized that I had to focus more on certain parts of the paper where I was weak, where I used to lose my, as there is negative marking here. So those sections in which I used to get a lot of wrong answers, I started focusing more on that, which is logic to begin with, and GK. GK was a very important part. I did not focus on GK in the starting at all. I realized my mistake, so I started doing GK more often to know and to do better in the paper itself.
Okay, okay. And so what happened in the last few mocks? So we conducted every day a mock. Was it kind of cumbersome? Was it troubling? Was it very, you can say, difficult or challenging for you?
Not exactly difficult or challenging, because it was giving me more time to practice, more time to understand where I was going wrong. If the more mocks I gave, I understood where I was going on, and I could practice on those mistakes. So I did not have to make those mistakes ahead in the paper, in the actual paper. So mocks were really helpful.
Okay, mocks were helpful. Okay,
Mocks
great.
were really helpful.
ठीक है. And what about your the D-Day? So what happened on the D-Day? Because the paper was little different than what were the mocks were, primarily in the GK front. Otherwise, the rest of the things were very manageable. And so what was there in your mind? How did you can say, control a lot of, you can say, wrong things in the mind?
I was very scared. To be honest, I was very anxious and very scared on the day of the paper. The most scared I was about was GK part, because I do not do well in GK. GK was not my strongest aspect. So I thought I'll attempt all the other sections. GK mein, I'll do as much as I can, and then I'll leave it. But when I saw the paper, it was very different, and I was very happy looking at it, because it was passage based. So I just had to read the passage and I could attempt the GK, which was a plus point for me, because I started with maths in the paper, which was my strongest section, and I got all right. I got 12 out of 12 in maths. I had a good start. And then when I opened up GK, I was so happy. I was like, this paper is nice. I can do this easily. So it was good. It was a good paper for me. Initially, I was very scared, but it turned out to be very good.
Okay. So how did you manage your legal? So did you take up first math, then GK?
I did math, GK, then I took up legal, then logic and RC in the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So legal was manageable.
Yeah, I went through logic I used to switch between RC and logic. So I read logic a few passages. I realized I could do it. So I completed logic first, and RC was very easy. So I knew I could take very less time to complete RC. So I completed RC in the end, and still I had 10 minutes left. So it was a good part for me. I could recheck the paper. I could go where I had left questions, and I could attempt them then.
Okay. And which section was there where you got the best accuracy?
Maths.
Okay. So apart from math.
RC.
RC. Okay.
I got 21 on 20. It had 22 questions. I got 21 right of 22.
Okay. Very good. And what about the least accurate section?
Logic.
Okay. So
it was confusing. The options were not very straightforward. Like out of 4 options, you think 2 of them are right, or 3. In some questions, it was like 3 of them are right. So what are you supposed to do? There were those kind of options. That is the reason why logic was. I got many wrong in logic.
Okay. And let's say you have to give one message to the students who are preparing for CLAT 2025, or even let's say 26, 27 in future. Okay, what they should keep in mind while they are preparing for CLAT?
Focus on GK more. You think it is not important, but it is the most important part of the paper. Read newspapers every single day. That really helped me. And maths may seem insignificant, but those 12 marks do add up, do make a very big difference. So focus on that as well. That is what I would like to say.
So primarily, the GK is very crucial.
GK is very crucial.
You can't ignore, because if you ignore, you are ignoring 12 marks. And you can say overall more practice on the mock test. That is going to be useful.
Give as many mocks as you can, because mocks is the most important part. You get to know where you are making mistakes, and then you can change them. If you don't do mocks, you don't realize where your mistakes are. You keep on doing the same thing as you were doing, which is not a very good thing, not a very good sign for the paper.
Okay. So those quick fire round kind of question, can I start?
Yeah.
Okay, that should be good. Okay.
Yeah.
And so any 3 important things you want to comment about the positive part of Pro Talent on 3 things?
Mocks. Daily mocks, we used to take, we had more than 60 mocks, which is very nice. Pro Talent provided us with more than 60 papers, which is a lot of practice. The books Pro Talent gave us, they had so many test papers, so many different kind of questions. We used to get to know from where and what kind of questions that could come. And obviously, sir, your guidance, it was very important. The personal counseling sessions you used to take, when there was so much of stress going around, those sessions helped me very much.
Okay. Okay. 3 things where you feel ki Pro talent did not do well.
No, I don't think there is anything.
1.
I can't think of anything, not sugarcoating or anything, but genuinely there was nothing you could have done better. You made sure you were always there for all the students and provided us with the best material every single time.
Okay, okay. The first word come to your mind when you saw your result?
I was kind of shocked, but I was happy as well. More than me, my parents were more happy. Because I was expecting a little more than I got, because when I checked the paper it was different and the answer sheet came out to be different. So I was a little disappointed, to be honest. But my parents were very happy. So looking at them, I was like, okay, fine, this is good. I did good. I was happy.
Okay, good. And what were your preferences of NLUs?
Yeah, I had NLSIU Bangalore first, then Nalsar Hyderabad, then I had Bombay, then I had Gandhinagar.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 4th was your Gandhinagar?
4th was Gandhinagar.
Okay, great. And so let's say quickly, if you want to give overall, you can say journey of yours, one word for the last, let's say 2 years, 11th and 12th. As a student, when you are looking back at your journey, what's there in your mind in one word?
Stressful and long.
Okay.
It was stressful, but it was a fun journey. It was a good journey to go. If when I look back, I still remember those paths. I used to come to classes. I used to sit here for 4 to 6 hours every single day. That seemed a lot at that time, but now I realize it was for the best.
Okay.
It was for the best.
Okay, so definitely it's a stressful journey. It is not a very easy journey. Okay, but yes, it's fun as well. If you are participating in the entire activity, it is definitely fun.
It is very fun.
Great. So thank you very much for joining with us. Okay, so I'm sure all of you must have learned a lot from BHUMI about her journey, and I'm sure some of you will definitely follow the path what BHUMI followed. Okay, all the best.